I just wanted to pop on here and give a final review of this advent calendar from Kinda Kawaii, just in case anybody wants to grab one next year if they do make it again. Okay, so starting with the price. In total, with shipping included, this cost me, I think, about $200, maybe a little less, like $198. I live in the US and this ships, I believe, from Hong Kong. So the shipping rate was pretty high, maybe upwards of $30. But to be fair, this is really big and very heavy, so even if it shipped within the US, I think the shipping would still be kind of high. So without shipping, the cost of the calendar is about 150 US dollars. And I know there were a ton of comments saying that like, oh, all the items can be purchased on Temu. Oh, that was just like $4 on Temu. But even if that is the case and everything in here is just $3 or $4 on Temu, let's assume it's $4 because there are going to be some things that cost more and there are going to be some things that cost less. So let's just say it's about $4 on average per drawer. So because one of the drawers is supposed to include a gold-plated ring, we'll just do the calculation for 23 drawers. So 4 times 23 would be $92. So okay, so that's already $92 worth of stuff in here if we're going off of the Temu price. And I'm not saying the items in here are from Temu. From what the company says, these were sourced by them from Japan, but I'm just playing devil's advocate here. So we have $92 worth of stuff in the box. There is a gold-plated ring, or well, there's supposed to be a gold-plated cinema roll ring in every single calendar. Nobody can say this cinema roll ring is from Temu because I reverse image searched it and it's nowhere on the internet, so I think they actually had this made. If you look on the Sanrio website, there's nothing really equivalent, but they do have some gold-plated jewelry, and there's a necklace, and I do know that it does have like a little lab diamond in it, but that's over $100. So if we take out the little lab diamond, which probably honestly doesn't cost very much to add to a piece of jewelry, and we assume that the ring is valued at around $40 to $50, that brings the value of the box up to somewhere around $140-ish. But then we have the box itself, which is huge, very, very cute, very well made, decorated all the way around. It's got a cute design on the inside. Definitely can be reused for jewelry or art supplies or whatever you want. So I think the packaging itself also has a value. Plus, if you consider that you're paying for the experience of having a curated calendar and being able to open a little surprise every day, that adds value as well, at least in my opinion. So do I think the cost of this is fair? I do. I agree that it is definitely expensive. It is a splurge for sure, but I don't think it's a ripoff in any way whatsoever. I definitely think you are getting what you pay for with this calendar. Now, as far as the items that are in each of the drawers, I think there was great variety between the types of items that were in the drawers. We had the jewelry, we had the accessories, some socks, some home decor items like this and this little calendar. But that being said, there really was not a great variety in terms of the characters that were in this calendar. I think I only got like 2 Hello Kitty items in this entire calendar. 3 if you include one of the coasters that was in that little coaster set. I got a lot of Kuromi, a lot of My Melody, and a lot of Cinema Roll, and I know that those are fan favorites and a lot of people like those characters. However, I think it would have been great if more characters were included, like there was no Choco Cat, there was no Karopi, no little twin stars. And if you're buying this as a Sanrio fan, you probably like more than just Kuromi and My Melody. So if I'm going to be critical, I would say that it was kind of a bummer that there weren't more characters included. And then if I really want to be honest about the whole experience, you guys know that I was missing the gold-plated ring from my calendar, and they did definitely correct that situation, but it was still something that I had to deal with, and luckily I did get it before Christmas, but it's possible that I wouldn't have. And like, had somebody not made a comment suggesting that it might not be in the calendar, I wouldn't have even known, and I would have gone through every single drawer wondering where it was and then been so disappointed when I opened the last drawer. And I know from other people on TikTok that I'm not the only one that this happened to. So that is definitely a downside. I'm not sure why that happened, but hopefully if they do something like this again next year, something like that won't happen. Another issue that happened with this calendar is I pre-ordered this this back in October, like mid-October, and it was supposed to ship by the end of November. I did not actually receive this calendar until after the first week in December. This calendar is made by a small company. I think it's operated by just one person, and I guess there were some logistical issues kind of shipping this, getting things created in time. I'm not sure. But regardless, it was kind of a bummer that it wasn't delivered in the time frame that was promised. Hopefully that's something that the company can learn from and not make that mistake again next year if they do this again next year. But overall, I had so much fun opening this calendar. I had fun making the TikToks, and I really liked the items that were in every single drawer. I would say that if you like Sanrio items, this is definitely worth the money. If you think you want to get it next year, I would follow them on their Instagram. They don't seem to be very active on TikTok, and I actually found out about this through an Instagram ad. And if you're in the US at least, I would definitely also make sure to pre-order it if they do pre-orders again, just so you get it in that first wave of shipments, because shipping can take a long time if it's shipped again from somewhere overseas. So that is my final review. Thank you all again for hanging out with me and opening all of the drawers this past month. I had so much fun. And if they release another one of these next year, then I can't wait to get that one too.